Hello, my fellow Rome 2 players. Zaript here with GG, Achilles, Prussian Prince, and Grand Duke. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello,
Prussian
sir.
Prince, muted himself again, and we are in a second game between Volound and Pointman. The first game was ridiculously fast, and it made Pointman very angry, as you can guess.
Partly a horse rush.
Yeah, it was
and
hilarious.
Camel rush, an elephant rush, over a hill against a mobile Suebi army in the trees that got absolutely wrecked. Like
Yeah.
the whole army routed within a minute.
Maybe slightly longer, but still, yeah. And for second map, Pointman for some reason still picked Suebi, and Volound on a lobby did troll us spectators by constantly picking different armies, and some of his armies were very similar. They were Ptolemaic Cav spams, but now in the end he went with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Galatial Royal Guard, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Egyptian infantry. I don't know. People hate spams, but it kind of makes me jiggle a bit. Like, imagine...
oh my goodness, is he gonna get those bows? No, he's not.
No.
Germanic scouts. Here comes the noble cav.
Two Ptolemaic Cav for Volound.
It might be smart for Volound to actually charge into those noble riders right now. Just to get them out of the picture, because look at how many more infantry units he has than his opponent here. He can just go forward and do a full surround.
I wonder.
I don't know.
I think
Can
it's quite possible for Pointman to kite, but he needs to shoot at Galatials instead of Egyptian infantry, because Volound going to use them as a mid shield. And while people say we had a discussion about spam here not so long ago, personally I still believe that at least on such events that have huge attention from creative assembly, spams are very important, because that's how they see what have to be balanced in the game to make it more interesting.
For sure. I think on this map though, it's really interesting, because in the previous map, Pointman didn't see his opponent's army and he called it, overpowered and whatnot, but now he sees the entire army, he sees the spam. Let's see how a competitive player who plays this game on a regular basis competitively in tournaments is going to deal with this kind of spam. And looks like Pointman has 2 units of berserkers here on his right flank, completely isolated.
Yeah.
Maybe they're bait, I don't know. He is getting nice surrounds, but I don't know, does he have enough men to do this? I mean, just the Galatians alone.
He needs to decapitate that cavalry fast.
Yeah.
The problem is, I don't know why Pointman's so focused on getting 3 Germanic scouts every game. At least last game he had 4, now he has 3. They are not particularly useful at killing stuff.
I think
like two max.
I think Pointman brings them to deal with enemy skirmishers and to get the enemy army engaged in, bad places. Like in his last few matches. In this
we saw
tournament,
that beautiful game
them,
against Hugo Sester.
Yeah, he's used them very well, but against this type of army, like, it doesn't... Light cav are kind of useless. Like, what are you going to do with your light cav here?
Yeah, so...
And, like, Voland's cavalry hasn't even been brought to do hammer and anvil charges, I don't think. They've just been brought to kind of prevent hammer and anvil charges against him, but he's going forward here.
Let's end. Pointman both are not shoot... Oh, this is mistake. Like, I can tell you guys. I'm sure I said that to Pointman. He's using fast reload on these longbow hunters. Fast reload exhaust your units really fast. So don't use it. Oh, and these berserkers going to get smashed.
Oh no.
Oh.
So it's not only built, now it starts to get into micro mistakes, unfortunately, for Pointman.
Pointman has engaged though on Voland's far right flank. But Voland is just kind of moving his main body forward. He wants to go deal with these berserkers. He's like, whatever, I'm going to lose one of these Egyptian infantry. Big deal. And he is committing one of these Galatians here to charge at this Swordmasters.
Yeah, actually, you made an interesting point. I believe one thing to understand about this build, no matter how scary it looks, routing this Egyptian infantry is very easy if you like.
Yes.
Rat-
Hammer and
look,
anvil.
look, not even hammer and anvil. Look at these noble riders destroying this Egyptian infantry, losing not a single man. So they are easy to kill. It's not a problem.
are.
It's just you need to pick them out first somehow. It's not unbeatable, but it's tough. It's tough.
And again, I think this might be a case of Volound thinking to himself, okay, I've used the kind of spammy aggressive army against Point Man. It worked. I can bring this army and throw away units. And I think Volound understands that Point Man probably has better micro than him. And this army probably plays a little bit of that, in that, you know, you can lose infantry units left and right, and then they will wear down some of the units or hurt them a little bit, and then your Galatians are just going to be free to do the damage. Like, what infantry are remaining on the battlefield at the moment for Point Man? He has
he have
sword
at
masters,
least
doesn't
6
he?
sword masters all alive yet. The
yeah,
problem
but there
is
are a lot of Galatians on the battlefield right now, Zaript. A lot of Galatians.
well, I see
But
the
still,
different
he needs
problem.
to save
Galatians are not such a problem as the fact that Pointman right now invested all his cavalry. That's a problem because general still alive, and like this two Ptolemaic cavalry is what can kill Pointman's archers, and archers are the only thing that can win late game for Pointman. Because like overcoming infantry, he will just have not enough meat. He can rout as many Egyptian infantry he can. It's cool, right? But in the end, it will be archers that win or lose him the game. Even so, they got a bit nerfed in patch 4.
Does it laggy?
No, not really.
Well,
I think it's now it's safe to say that game is over. Over.
I think the game is very close to being over. I don't know though why Volound hasn't sent more units towards the general of Point Man. All this blobbing that's happening in the forest on his left with his cav and general.
It
He
doesn't
needs to wrap
matter.
that up, or just go kill the general. If he can kill the general, it'll just be done. And he is sending some units there. It looks like it.
Now, for me, it's over because the two Ptolemaic cav still alive, and like Pointman just don't have stuff to grind out infantry battle. He just cannot.
Oh no.
And look,
This is a big mistake from Volound. Look how he's moving his Ptolemaic cav to deal with the archers. He should be hammer and anviling those sword masters
I
right
don't
now.
agree. I don't agree.
You think?
They
I
will
think he
die. I
needs
mean,
to
two
clean
sword
that up.
masters surrounded. They will still die.
They will still die. We'll see how long they hold out though. One of them has 78 men left.
Look at those berserkers, they're free guys. Still fighting.
Berserkers?
Berserkers.
Yes.
I don't see any on the field. On maybe on the stream. Yeah.
So the Ptolemaic cav are now running down the archers. That big blob on the far flank. Oh. No, there's no way. There was
And
not
look,
enough momentum.
take a look at archers. They are very tired. They cannot really run anymore. You see? It's because they were fast reloading all the time.
Yeah, but if he did one charge against that Swordmaster Zaript, they would have routed, and he would have been able to reroute his archers. The archers would have not done enough damage in like the 20 seconds that the Ptolemaic cav routed that Swordmaster.
Yeah.
And he would have freed up that flank. I think it would have been a better move to just charge in the Swordmaster and then go kill the archers, because it wouldn't have taken that long to kill those Swordmasters anyway.
Yeah, well, considering
But it doesn't
amounts,
matter at this point.
It doesn't
He's won
matter,
the game.
yeah.
Yeah. Volound 2-0's Point Man in the Scan and Intel Invitational Tournament.
Yeah, you can say 2 pure build wins.
2 pure aggressive spammy builds by
Yeah.
Volound. I'm guessing some people are probably not going to be very happy with him, but as you said
I feel
earlier,
bad for Pointman.
I
I
don't
think
feel
he's
bad for
fault
anyone.
himself.
It's a competition. You know the rules.
Yes.
I would understand that Pointman is mad right now, and on his place, I would be absolutely mad myself. But,
yeah, I'd be mad too.
But that's a pure meaning of what competition. You play by the rules to get the prize. that's what competition is. And unfortunately, people who play a lot of community tournaments, that's another side of a coin. Because community tournaments always have these capping rules, community players never learn to deal with spam properly. It's something to keep in mind. Community tournaments is a different game. It's not Total War Rome 2. It's a different game with completely different rules. And saying that, I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I always try to take a look at bigger picture.
It's interesting, though. It's interesting. I really like seeing the game kind of unlimited like this, but I mean, if I was in Point Man's shoes, the only thing I would have done after that first battle is I would have seen that Volound has... Like, why would Volound bring an army like this against Point Man? It's because he's looking to get the win in the most easy way possible, and he's playing, obviously, to his... Like, I think he knows that his micro isn't as good as Point Man's, because he knows that Point Man competes all the time. If I was Point Man after Battle 1, I would have said, okay, well, both players need to agree on a rule set before the battle starts. Let's put some restrictions, because this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Point Man didn't do that, because Point Man's pride is, I think, too big to do that. He was like, whatever, I'll just go into the next one, I'll play really well, but he just got spammed again.
Limit to max 16.
Yeah, he could have been able to. Yeah, he could have been. Let's limit to max 16.
If your opponent agree.
Yeah,
Anyway.
if your opponent agree, of course. But if Volound says no, then Point Man has something to think about for the next battle. Which, I mean, you won't lose anything by asking, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Nice theme for discussion, and see you later.